Admiral Zexthai of the Catherian Empire stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Void Render, gazing down at the blue marble that the primitive inhabitants called Earth. His mandibles clicked in amusement as he reviewed the intelligence reports, one final time. Atmospheric composition, standard oxygen-nitrogen mix, his tactical officer, Commander Veltak, reported with barely concealed disdain. Gravity, 1.2 times standard. Weather patterns, minimal threat assessment. These humans appear to have adapted to remarkably stable conditions. Zexthai's 4 eyes gleamed with predatory satisfaction. The Catherians had conquered 17 systems in the past cycle, each one falling to their superior technology and tactical prowess. But none had been as pathetically easy as this would be. His fleet of 200 warships hung in perfect formation above Earth's atmosphere, their dark hulls bristling with plasma cannons and void torpedoes. Their primitive vessels can barely escape their own gravity well. Veltak continued, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into standard. Galactic. They still use chemical propulsion, Admiral. Chemical. The bridge crew erupted in harsh laughter. Even their scout ships had abandoned such crude technology millennia ago. And their weather? Zexthai inquired, though he already knew the answer. Utterly harmless, sir. Our atmospheric specialists analyzed their historical data. Occasional precipitation, some wind patterns, temperature variations within acceptable ranges. Nothing that would pose any threat to our fleet operations. Zexthai's confidence swelled. The Catherians had weathered the acidic cyclones of Mortax Prime and the plasma storms of the burning nebula. Earth's gentle breezes would be like a vacation. Begin descent, he commanded. Take us into their atmosphere. I want to watch their cities burn from close range. The fleet began its majestic descent through Earth's upper atmosphere, their shields easily deflecting the minimal atmospheric resistance. Zexthai had chosen to arrive during what the humans called hurricane season in their Atlantic Ocean, though the term meant nothing to him. His ships could withstand the heat of stellar cores. What could mere weather possibly do? As they broke through the cloud layer, Zexthai noticed something odd on the meteorological sensors. A massive spiral formation was developing rapidly, in the ocean below, larger than anything in their initial surveys. Commander, what is that atmospheric disturbance? Veltak checked his readings, his mandibles twitching with confusion. It appears to be some sort of rotating air mass, Admiral. Wind speeds are... This cannot be correct. What are the readings? 300 kilometers per hour, sir. But that's impossible. No planet's atmosphere could sustain such... The first ship to experience Earth's fury was the destroyer Night's Edge. Captain Morthak had been bragging over comms about how his ship could slice through this gentle Earth breeze when the hurricane's outer bands caught his vessel. What happened next would haunt Catherian military doctrine for generations. The winds didn't just push against their ships, they grabbed them. The Night's Edge, designed to withstand the void of space and the gravitational stress of stellar combat, began to tumble like a leaf. Its atmospheric stabilizers, built for the predictable weather patterns of civilized worlds, screamed in protest as they tried to compensate for forces they were never designed to handle. Mayday! Mayday! Morthak's panicked voice crackled over the comm. I'm losing altitude. The atmospheric disturbance is... The transmission cut off as his destroyer was hurled into the ocean at terminal velocity. Zexthai watched in horror as the hurricane, now a Category 5 monster named Hurricane Stella by the humans below, began to feast on his fleet. Ships that had conquered star systems found themselves helpless against rotating columns of air and water. Full retreat! Zexthai screamed, but it was too late. The humans had been tracking the storm for days, had evacuated their coastal cities, had prepared for nature's assault. But the Catherians had walked blindly into Earth's most terrifying feature. Its weather. Lightning. Not the gentle static. Discharge his scientists had predicted, but massive electrical bolts carrying billions of volts began arcing between his ships. The Dread Sovereign took a direct hit, its shields overloading as the electromagnetic pulse fried every circuit on board. Hail the size of boulders, accelerated by winds that defied everything the Cytherians knew about atmospheric physics, began pummeling the fleet. The Warbringer's hull, forged from neutronium alloy, actually dented under the assault. But it was the storm surge that truly broke them. As Hurricane Stella made landfall, it pushed a wall of water 40 feet high ahead of it. The Cytherian ships, struggling to maintain altitude in the impossible winds, were caught between the surge and the storm. One by one, the pride of the Empire was either smashed against the Earth's surface or dragged down into the churning depths of the Atlantic. Zexthai's flagship barely escaped the storm's eye, limping away with half its systems offline and most of his fleet at the bottom of Earth's oceans. Of his 200 ships, only 37 survived to flee the system. As they jumped to hyperspace battered and humiliated, Zexthai received a transmission from Earth. It was a human, an elderly man with weathered skin and kind eyes, wearing what appeared to be a simple cloth covering. "Y'all picked the wrong day to visit," the human said with a slight smile. "Stella's been brewing for a week. We saw her coming from space too. Maybe next time check the weather forecast." The transmission ended, leaving Zexthai to contemplate the impossible truth. His technologically superior fleet had been defeated not by human weapons or strategy, but by Earth's weather. In the years that followed, no alien species ever again made the mistake of underestimating Earth's storms. Hurricane Stella became legend, the day nature itself defended humanity. And somewhere in the depths of the Atlantic, the remains of the Cytherian fleet serve as artificial reefs, teeming with Earth life that had reclaimed the instruments of conquest. The humans, meanwhile, went back to their daily lives, tracking the next storm system with the casual efficiency of a species that had learned to dance with chaos itself.